What's popping, y'all? The Streamer Awards they got some tension going on, and we got some cap coming from the host of the Streamer Awards. But overall, I think that this event is a good event. It has been a good event for several years, and it's organic in the sense that it came from the streaming community and then it just got sponsors later on. But one of the criticisms that they had for the Streamer Awards was that, certain streamers that are deemed non-brand friendly or brand risk, aka Aiden Ross, were not nominated. And first, we're going to go through this clip from Cutie Cinderella, who is the host, founder of the Streaming Awards, we've given some criticisms of her. And I like her. I like her personality. Now, there are certain times where there are certain traits that come out, and you're like, I see what you're doing there. And there's a little bit of disingenuity, or she's a bit disingenuous at times, but I think that's just the nature of her position to get into that level of streaming. It's a must. You have to. Unless you're moving like the streamers that we rock with, like a Kai Cenat, a Speed, a Blackboy Max. Like, I think those guys are quite authentic. Even a Kai Cenat, despite what many people may say about him. But she responded to this with the following clip that I'm going to play you guys right now.
Somebody said, are problematic people blackballed from getting nominated? No, they've just never nominated. Turns out their audience doesn't show up. I think when people have like a crazy audience or whatever, I don't see Jack Doherty's audience voting for him. I just don't. They just don't show up. I don't know. I wish I could. It is always funny. Audiences will complain every year that they weren't nominated and then not do nominations on stream or not tweet about it or not ask their audience to vote for them or nothing. They'll give nothing. They give nothing, It's like, you do have to log in with a Twitch account and you have to fill it out, which I know some people's viewers don't have. I won't say the quiet part out loud. So
Asmongold here responds, and he's the biggest streamer right now. And he says the quote, problematic streamers weren't nominated because it would put sponsor opportunities at risk. This is obvious. I don't know why we're pretending that it's not. I think both of these things can be true. For instance, let's just go through some of the streamer award lists, mainly for ones that we would pay attention to. So let's say best music streamer, right? We've got DDG, FaZe Kason, Max, Blackboy Max, Ari at Home. So here we've got three people that we know. I think I don't have a strong opinion on Kason. Ari at Home, I've seen clips of the guy. I haven't seen him stream, but this guy's a grinder. I got to put respect on that guy's name. I think the new, I was about to say president of New York. That's crazy. I think the new mayor of New York, he appeared on that guy's stream too. So y'all got a mayor that's moving around like that. So here, this makes sense. DDG, music is not the main thing of his stream, but I think Ari at Home here is the most music-based streamer than these other guys. So yeah, there's one right there. And then when we talk about another streaming, now keep in mind, when the guy was talking about streaming partnerships and brand deals being at risk, you've got a best brand partner category with AT&T, Cash App, Gamer Subs, and Red Bull. So that just goes to show you that, okay, when you've got people like that, that's a different story. You've got best sports streamer, and you've got this guy Morgan, Angry Ginge, I think it's Ginge, probably Ginger, Cash Nasty, Flight, The Legend, Run the Foot Market, I think that's like a football streamer. I was about to say not American football, soccer. And then who else do we have here? IRL streamer. This is where people were like, whoa, what's going on? You had Extra Emily, I Show Speed, Christina and Amber, and Chloe IRL. Chloe IRL, I feel like we've seen before, but this one's a little bit odd because this person is quite a small streamer, yet she's on here in comparison to many other people that do IRL. Extra Emily makes sense. And then when you think of best streamed collab, you've got Kai and LeBron. Okay, that's huge. Blackboy Max and Fred again. I'm like, Pokimane and Cat's Eye. That makes sense. Cinna and Zelina Vega. I think there are a lot of girls voting here. That's the only way, especially when they're talking about vote-based, which we're going to get into that vote-based thing in a little bit. But how do you not have, was that this year? No, I don't think it happened this year. That was last year where Aiden did the thing with Trump. That's for sure top stream collab. There's another collab that I think escapes me, but Kai LeBron is certainly up there. Best marathon stream, Phase Subathon, I Show Speed America Tour, Mafiathon 3. These make sense, right? Stream for Humanity. That maybe was a charity one. I didn't see that one either. Variety streamer. So this is people that do both IRL stuff and a bunch of other things. Queso, Agents, Lyric, Squeaks, Vine Sauce. Okay, like these don't seem that crazy, or it doesn't seem like people are missing. Best just chatting streamer, Jason DeWeen, Joe Bartolozzi. This guy is huge, but I think Joe Bartolozzi is interesting because he's just got his own style and own thing that he does by himself outside of the world of streaming. It's like he's on his own little island. Kai Cenat, Lydia Violet, who is that? Let's be real here. And Felix XQC. I need to look up Lydia Violet. I don't want to put disrespect on her name because maybe she is very entertaining and maybe she has a huge fan base. But what I'm leaning towards is they wanted to throw a chick here for best just chatting streamer. But that's just me speaking out of ignorance, which I should not do that. That is very rude. And then Rising Star, I don't know any of these people other than Marlon. And Reginald, yeah, I do know. I'm surprised he got that name. I'm thinking of a different Reginald every time I see that. And then you got Best Breakout Streamer. You got Rakai, FaZe, Adapt. This is a tough category here. I don't know who's going to win this one because Adapt came back on some streaming-ish, blew up like crazy. I think he's been doing his thing. DDG is S tier this year when it comes to the grind. Rakai also. This Wendy Ortiz chick, like I said, I've given her a lot of respect. She's done her own thing. That Vanilla Mace chick, yeah, how does this chick get on there? She's the one she's a goofy. Let's just put it like that. The simplest way that I can put it. And then Streamer of the Year, the most important one. Extra Emily, this is a shocker. And Extra Emily is cool with Cutie Cinderella. I think this one is the biggest shocker. I Show Speed, Jason DeWeen, Kai Cenat, Blackboy Max. Some people are like, yo, where's Aiden Ross? Why is he not on there? Aiden Ross does not deserve Streamer of the Year this year. Listen, I'm just being fair here. Where's Academics? Where's Big Act? That's what we got to talk about, especially music streamer. Bro, come on, dog. Music streamer? Or are they talking about like just music coverage? And if we're talking just chatting, he's banned on Twitch. That's another thing. I think if you're banned on Twitch, you can't even get nominated. So that's possible as well. But this is where we got to circle back to when she's talking about voting. So yes, I do believe that people like a Kai Cenat, maybe even a Blackboy Max, like these other guys, or people that weren't nominated, didn't make it to the nominations, they're not doing the most and they're not tripping about it. So they're not telling people like, yo, vote for me, because what they say is that it's 70% based on the audience votes, like she said, and then it's 30% based on them. This is where I got to ask a question to this individual. Like, let's say we take a Cuffum, right, who's a bit of an abrasive streamer. Let's say we take who else? This new guy that's been streaming with these guys, Clavular. I don't know how to pronounce that name. I got to look it up a little bit later. That guy he's out there for sure. And you take I don't even know who to begin with. And these guys are not banned on Twitch. Let's say, yeah, if these guys actively were getting their audience to vote for them, are you going to let them be on there? Let's be real here. There's got to be a potential veto when you've got brand deals like this. And in Aiden Ross, even before that, Sneeko is still banned on Twitch. So they said the fans need to have a Twitch account, but do the streamers need to be unbanned on Twitch? I think that's another thing. And that's where I'm coming at Cutie Cinderella, where it's like, listen, yeah, you want to make it seem, and Jack Doherty is a terrible example. Jack Doherty is a streamer. Nobody watches Jack Doherty because they like him. I don't even know who watches Jack Doherty, but the people that are watching, however few of them, are watching a train wreck happen. They do not like the guy. If bad things happen to the guy, they will laugh. He does not have supporters. He does not have people that like him. And he's not even like a villain. He's just, nobody likes him. That's just the way it is. Whereas with an Aiden Ross or other controversial streamers, if you want to call them that, they have a fan base. Now, people are there for the entertainment and are there for the foolery, but they're looking at it like, yo, we like this guy for whatever reason they may like them for. So throwing Jack in there is like nobody on earth said, yo, well, why is Jack Doherty not nominated? He had a crazy year. Nobody said that. Not a single person. So that's where I think she's trying to throw like all these other streamers that people are considering that should be up there and removing them. Also, like Jason the Ween getting multiple categories. Like, what are we doing here? This guy got best just chatting streamer and streamer of the year. Nah, get him out of here for streamer of the year. When we're talking, we got iShowSpeed here and Kai and Max. The way that these guys have ran this year, let's be for real here. Nah, that would be hate. I was about to say I would even put that dude Lacey over Jason DeWeen. That's straight hate. Nah, I can't do that. Jason DeWeen deserves to be there over Lacey. But there's got to be, like, this guy's getting too, and this is the thing. He's friends with these people. So you start to think, all right, man, what's going on here? Especially when you don't have an Asmongold there for just chatting streamer. That guy is the biggest just chatting guy right now. He goes on just chatting. He's number one consistently on multiple platforms. And I know his fans were voting for him. So you're just leaving him off of any type of nomination. That doesn't seem, that leans more towards what he was saying, which is, listen, if you're not brand friendly, you're not getting on here. And who on this list can you say, like, man, this person's got some edge to them? Kai? Maybe Blackboy Max? Blackboy Max is probably, like, Speed is just authentic, right? And we've seen Speed's history. But everybody else, like, these people are, at best, like, the edgiest normal. Like, for example, a Phantom, he was in another category. That guy's normal. Regular guy. Kason, right? Like, he's a normal guy. He's playing within the rules. DDG, I would say, has probably got the most edge to him. And by edge, I mean just, like, willing to say whatever he wants. However, you can't really exist on Twitch if that's the case. Ninja also got nominated, which got to put respect on Ninja's name. That guy's consistent, just doing his thing, and seems very, very happy. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Do you think there's anybody that is somewhat controversial that's missed? Like, you could say XQC is a little bit controversial now, but the only person I can think of that didn't make it onto a nomination, whose fans would for sure have voted, is Asmongold. But I think a lot of you're not going to tell me that Flight was out there telling people to vote, and that's the reason why he got on there. I think Flight was chosen. I think Flight probably didn't even know until this happened. Like, Flight's just in his own world. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one.